now for men to get the message. We need to drive that message home to men as well, that there's a lot of discomfort and there's a lot of pain that their wives go through to get everything done, and it's very, very important to share the load, share responsibility, and equally participate in household chores. So let's start with the two of you, Nandita and Tahira. Your thoughts on this? We took a survey, and there are some very alarming statistics that we'd like to share with everybody. Your thoughts, your view?
I just said that, and I think I belong to that 71% of women, but this was 3 years back. I acted upon it. I feel the statistics can change once we act upon it. And for the men to take the initiative, the women need to be confident too that this is what they want. They do want their 8 hours of sleep, and for that it becomes of paramount importance that the man or the husband also.
I just wanted to add before I tell you my statistic is that every time a woman goes to a Maika, the most important thing she's doing is sleeping. And it's not only about the time of sleep, but it's also not having that tension कि अभी ये करना है वो करना है. And I think that is what it is. So it's about lack of sleep, but it's about having that burden constantly to think, like have I put the sprouts to in the water? Like these small things, and it looks like when you start counting, then they look very petty. Like come on, we're not going to count each and everything. But when that kind of responsibility is not taken, that bothers us. And what I found also, and in the statistic, is that the time that we spend with our kids. So it's like, even if you see her, she was doing everything for the kids.
In the film, it was very apparent. She could just barely react to what the little girl was saying, but the husband comes along, he gets his little moment with her, and he gets to be there's a lot of good cop, bad cop happening over there, not necessarily bad cop.
Also, like, the thing is that she says, oh Papa, let's hear the story.
Yes.
And it's finally the mother who's reading the story. But, it's not a quality time that, she's doing it because that's something that she will land up doing because of her husband is not taken up. So how can we create, and this is true not only for women who are working, but also for housewives. But how do we really create that kind of quality time with our kids? And I think that's an important area.
I have to tell you, this is a fight with my husband at any given point in time. I'm the one who sits and reads with my son. My husband doesn't find time. He shares a lot of the load, but he doesn't find time to read with my son like I do. I'm going to enforce it a little strongly here on in.
It just says half the women agreed that if they had some free time during the day, they would wish to sleep.
Alright, just before anything, any of the women sitting over here agree with this statement? Put your hands up. If they had some free time, they would like to sleep. Don't feel shy, I'm not going to pick on you or anything, but yeah, me too.
Yeah, and the thing is, we are aware of the emotional and mental load, really. It's that time you just want to forget, right? You want to forget that mental stuff which you saw. We try to capture it in the film as well, when she suddenly wakes up and realizes she has to call the plumber. And then, of course, the whole emotional labor of having to manage so many things within the household while also doing other things outside. And we try to capture that, and that's really where this is coming from, right? It's that exhaustion which is beyond just the physicality. It is the mental and emotional load. And that's what this is about.
Most men agree that washing clothes in a machine are the easiest job for them to start taking over. This is completely true.
I think this is something everybody agrees on.
I mean, in the survey, 70% of men said cleaning and washing clothes is where they would like to start sharing the load. And I do it myself. I mean, with a product like Ariel, with the machines that we have nowadays, this is something that everyone should do.
It's an easy chore.
Absolutely, and that's why in the film this time you've got share the laundry, share the load, which is trying to, we're trying to urge people to now make a beginning. And I think laundry is an easy place to begin with. It's such an easy place to begin with that it's something which can get you into sharing the load equally very quickly.
That's what marriage is, marriage isn't just about that wedding day, it's about being an equal partner, whatever you do, and if you love your partner, you truly want to, live a good and happy life ahead, it's important to share the load, it's important to share the
It's not marriage,
responsibility.
it's companionship as well.
Yes.
I mean, it really doesn't need to boil down to marriage, but
Yes.
also companionship, also brother system, also people sharing a household, I feel. Anyone who shares a household has an equal duty to sort of contribute towards the running of the house, irrespective of gender.
Scale, which is behind this wall, panelists over here, and with the help of men at large, we're going to make the balances at home see some sort of equality. So clearly, you can see with this swaying scale, her load is overburdened. His load is like up there, flying in the wind. So requesting our panelists to please come forward and do the needful. Men at large will also do the needful to make this, should do that, and we want equality. We are those kind of feminists, right? We want equality. So, there you go, we take a little bit of that off. There you go. See, just a little bit of sharing of the load equalizes the scale. His load and her load are now equal. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause. That's all it takes, a little bit of help from your significant other to make your life easier, to make you get a little more sleep, because men should be sleeping as much and women should be sleeping as much as men are. They should be getting as much rest and sleep. So here we go. That's all it took. 3 t-shirts. Do we have the final? Yes? Alright. Can we have the placard please for the final photograph, the final photo opportunity? That side, back at that side. Requesting our panelists, please go back to the washing machine for the final photograph. The time, ladies and gentlemen, to take action is now. It's time to understand the labor behind the unaccounted household chores that leave a woman fatigued day in and day out. Share the load for equal sleep. Aims to drive the message strongly and deeply. Women deserve equal sleep and equal rest, and household chores should not come in the way of her getting equal sleep. We can take about 5 questions. So if you have any questions, you can raise your hand, tell us your name, and ask your question. Tell us which panelist you'd like to ask. Yes, the lady in the first, can we have a mic? Alright. What's your name? Don't worry, the mics have been sanitized.
Thank you so much. Hi, my name is Manvi Jaiswal and I'm a blogger. I write under the name Unurban Romantic. My question is to Talila. Ayushmann actually grew up in an all-boys family. Sort of personal question. So when you got married, did you have to sort of say, okay, now equal opportunity after marriage, or did it come like naturally to him? Did you have to put your foot down?
So yes, he comes from a family where it's it is a patriarchal setup when it comes to the country as well, and I think his family is all boys, and they were not sensitized enough to see how a girl or a sister or a daughter would behave in a situation. And yes, I had to sensitize the entire family. My sister-in-law, my sister-in-law has it easier because I fought a lot of battles. But that's not to say that my in-laws are nice. All are wonderful people. It's just the conditioning. The conditioning needs to be changed. Something that is just taken for granted. And it's not just men. Like I said, my mother-in-law also did not realize that what all she is doing in the cost of her sleep, her happiness. And she was the one who would vouch for any duty or give up on something in order to give other person a chance. And I definitely put my foot down, but with a smile on my face, and not to have a sort of a discord in the family. But I have struggled with many battles, and the best part is it's a progressive family. So my in-laws have been very receptive towards the changes.
Very nice.
I am Shubhreet from Raising Karma. I actually blog a lot about equality at home because it's something we very actively follow at home. I wanted to ask the panel, anyone of you can answer the question, is that we've spoken about chores, but what about newborn baby care? Because I post a lot about it right now. I'm here and my husband is taking care of a 3.5-month-old and my 5-year-old without any major grandparents around.
Yes.
Right? So
You
I
have
wanted to
trained
know-
him well.
No, so he came trained actually. I have to give that credit to my father-in-law. So, but he, you know, so it's always been, that's how we've always done things ever since my first daughter was born. But I want to ask, like, how was it when, you know, you had children? Was, instead of chores, I think a place where we see things lagging is baby care as far as fathers and God, you know, changing diapers, heating up milk, or they can take care of kids when they're slightly older, but not during the baby stage. So how was it for you guys? What would be the message that you would want to encourage the mothers and fathers?
That when we talk about kids, except for breastfeeding, everything can be done right.
Exactly.
So it's just that the notion is, that, acha, you know, you're very good with
Frankly speaking, even with breastfeeding, I've just expressed a left the stock in the fridge.
Yeah, there you go. Everything can be done.
The thing is that the notion is that you are born to be very good with kids. You're born to be very good as a cook. And that is the one that we are questioning. And none of us are born. We are told at 3 years old कि guest आए हैं बेटा चाय एक पानी का glass लेके जाओ, because we think that the girls have to be trained. We are working in slums. Even today, the girls will be made. There is a differentiation of the kind of biscuits that will come in the house. Good day for boys and glucose for girls. Now that is happening in Worli, in Bombay. So we are saying that constantly we are giving this message to the girls that, you know, you are a second thing and this is your role. And that's what we are actually looking at, how do we challenge. But the bigger challenge is we are not telling the boys about it, losing out. Not being a father, you're losing out on something. It's such a beautiful moment. Why is it that we are not talking about that? That, you know, you become part of that 3-year-old baby's, you know, when you're feeding and you're burping. It's a beautiful moment. So there's a whole lot of movement internationally where they're talking about fatherhood and why is fatherhood not allowed the kind of importance that it should have. And today you see a lot of change, like for example, when you go for delivery, a lot of fathers are now going to the labor room, which was not the case when in our generation, you know. So it's changing, and I think that we need to take one more step. It's not enough to just look how much pain I am in when labor room, but to go beyond that, say, okay, what are you going to do about it? So I think that's the challenge.
More messaging.
I come from a traditional household, married into a traditional household. Traditional means women do majority of the work in and out of the house and men handle the family business. So if I have to go back home and start today, what are the 5 basic steps that you would tell me that would help me ease into the campaign without being compulsive to my family?
About the 5 tips, and I don't know about the traditional setup because, like I said, every family is different. But yes, the conditioning and over the years, the sort of perception that you have towards life and towards duties is set. But the workings of every family is different. So my husband's work pattern, and that's our work profile as well. It's very erratic. You don't have
It's not a 9-to-5 job, not Monday to Friday.
job. So even my complaints can't be like that.
Yes.
So having said that, what I used to do before was I used to make sure that I take out time for everyone in the family, whether it's my kids and whether it's my husband. And even if my husband used to come back by 3 or 2 o'clock, I used to be up. I used to spend time with him, but needless to say that I had to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning for the kids, and that played havoc with my health and with my sleep pattern. And then there was this time that I took a stand. I was like, if somebody has to make time, then even these people should also value me. It should not just be me working towards our relationship. It's a symbiotic relationship. So hence, I started sleeping on time, and once I started sleeping on time, my husband realized that there is we are missing out on our time. So he started sort of
You
making out
can
time.
always make the time.
You can always make the time for each other. We have to sort of give that onus to the men and tell them, massage their ego also. When you can do this, it's not something that only women are capable enough to do. You too can multitask. Give it a shot. I think that really helped me change. I don't know about the 5 tips, the other 4 tips perhaps.
I think it's also about trusting and letting go. I think you shouldn't let your conditioning come in the way of you letting go of a certain task.
Or the attitude that probably I would do it better than you.
Absolutely. Or that this is my job, and the stuff that Mandla talked about, never feel guilty that this is only your job, it's a shared responsibility. So it's a bit about trust, a bit about letting go, and a little bit of encouragement.
A big thank you to our panelists. Thank you for your wonderful answers. Thank you so much for sharing your insights. And thank you for being so sporting and participative. Thank you very much to everyone in the audience for coming here.